Henry Addington 1801–1804. Henry Addington, born on May 30, 1757, was a prominent British statesman who served as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1801 to 1804. Known for his affable nature and keen intellect, Addington rose to prominence within political circles, establishing himself as a respected figure in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Prior to his premiership, Addington held various important positions, including Speaker of the House of Commons and Home Secretary. Despite his political accomplishments, Addington's tenure as Prime Minister is often overshadowed by the turbulent events of the time, particularly the ongoing Napoleonic Wars and the complex socio-economic challenges facing Britain. As we delve into his leadership during this critical period, it becomes imperative to examine Addington's decisions, policies, and the impact they had on the nation. The early 19th century was a tumultuous period in British history, marked by a confluence of domestic and international challenges. At the turn of the century, Britain found itself entangled in the Napoleonic Wars, a series of conflicts that would reshape the political landscape of Europe. The economic and social fabric of the nation was strained as it grappled with the costs and consequences of prolonged warfare. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, transforming traditional agrarian societies into industrial powerhouses, leading to widespread economic disparities and social unrest. Additionally, Britain faced the constant threat of invasion from Napoleon's forces, and the need for effective leadership was paramount. The political climate was characterized by shifting alliances, ideological differences, and a rapidly evolving global landscape. In the midst of these challenges, Henry Addington assumed the role of Prime Minister, tasked with navigating the nation through troubled waters. Henry Addington was born on May 30, 1757, into a family with a strong tradition of public service. His father, Anthony Addington, was a respected physician who served as the personal physician to King George III. This familial connection to the royal court provided young Henry with a unique exposure to the workings of the British political and social elite. Raised in a household that valued education and public duty, Addington received his early education at Winchester College and later studied at Brasenose College, Oxford. The intellectual atmosphere of Oxford, combined with the influence of his father's prestigious position, helped shape Addington's character and aspirations. He exhibited a keen intellect and a natural inclination toward public service, laying the groundwork for a career that would see him rise to the highest echelons of British politics. Henry Addington's entry into politics was marked by a gradual but determined progression. In 1783, he was elected as the Member of Parliament, MP, for Devizes, beginning his formal foray into the political arena. His early years in Parliament showcased his abilities as a skilled orator and a meticulous legal mind. Addington's commitment to public service and his strong advocacy for constitutional principles earned him the admiration of his peers. Addington's political career was significantly influenced by the turbulent political climate of the late 18th century. The era was marked by the fallout from the American Revolutionary War, political tensions with France, and debates surrounding constitutional reform in Britain. In this environment, Addington's legal background and his measured approach to governance set him apart, gradually establishing his reputation as a pragmatic and principled politician. As Henry Addington continued to distinguish himself within political circles, his rise through the ranks was steady and methodical. His legal expertise and calm demeanor led to his appointment as Speaker of the House of Commons in 1789, a position he held for over a decade. This role not only elevated his status within Parliament but also provided him with valuable experience in presiding over debates and maintaining order in the legislative body. Addington's tenure as Speaker solidified his reputation for impartiality and fairness, earning him the respect of colleagues from different political persuasions. His ability to navigate the often turbulent waters of parliamentary proceedings showcased his diplomatic skills and further propelled his political ascent. By the turn of the century, Henry Addington's political career had reached a pinnacle. In 1801, he was appointed as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, succeeding William Pitt the Younger. This marked a critical juncture in Addington's life, as he assumed leadership during a time of immense challenges and uncertainties, both on the domestic and international fronts. The experiences and relationships forged during his early political career would prove instrumental in shaping his approach to governance as Prime Minister. Henry Addington assumed the role of Prime Minister in 1801 under circumstances shaped by the ongoing global conflict, the Napoleonic Wars. His predecessor, William Pitt the Younger, resigned due to disagreements over the issue of Catholic emancipation. The king, George III, turned to Addington, a trusted figure with a reputation for stability and moderation, to lead the nation through these challenging times. Addington's appointment was seen as an attempt to maintain continuity and to provide a steady hand during a period of political and military upheaval. Economic issues and financial reforms. Upon becoming Prime Minister, Addington faced a myriad of domestic challenges, chief among them being the economic strain caused by the protracted war with France. The cost of funding military campaigns abroad had led to a ballooning national debt and economic instability. Addington implemented financial reforms aimed at addressing these issues, including measures to streamline government spending and enhance revenue collection. However, the effectiveness of these reforms was debated, and Addington encountered resistance from various quarters. Managing social unrest and political dissent. The early 19th century witnessed social unrest fueled by economic disparities and the disruptive effects of industrialization. Addington grappled with managing political dissent and social upheaval, with protests and movements calling for reform gaining momentum. Balancing the need for social order with the demand for political change was a delicate task, and Addington's ability to navigate these turbulent waters would be a defining aspect of his leadership. Napoleonic Wars and the Treaty of Amiens. The Napoleonic Wars dominated the international landscape during Addington's premiership. Britain was engaged in a protracted struggle against Napoleon Bonaparte's forces, and Addington sought a diplomatic resolution to the conflict. His government played a key role in negotiating the Treaty of Amiens in 1802, a brief respite in hostilities that marked the first attempt to bring about peace in the ongoing war. The treaty, however, proved fragile, and tensions between Britain and France soon resurfaced. Relations with other European powers. Addington's foreign policy extended beyond the immediate conflict with France. He worked to maintain and establish alliances with other European powers, navigating the complex web of diplomatic relations. His efforts aimed at securing Britain's position in the international arena were crucial during a time when the geopolitical landscape was rapidly evolving. Opposition from within his own party. Addington's leadership faced internal challenges, particularly from within his own political party. Critics, including some prominent members of the Tory party, expressed dissatisfaction with his policies and approach to governance. The internal dissent highlighted ideological divisions and leadership struggles within the government. Public dissatisfaction and media scrutiny. The public, facing the strains of war and economic difficulties, grew increasingly dissatisfied with Addington's administration. Media scrutiny intensified as newspapers and political pamphlets criticized his handling of domestic and foreign affairs. Public opinion played a significant role in shaping the narrative around Addington's leadership, contributing to the challenges he faced in maintaining political support. As Addington grappled with these multifaceted challenges, the criticisms and controversies surrounding his leadership would ultimately contribute to the brevity of his tenure as Prime Minister. The complex interplay of domestic and international dynamics during this period would leave a lasting impact on the trajectory of British history. Henry Addington's leadership style during his tenure as Prime Minister from 1801 to 1804 has been a subject of historical analysis and debate. Known for his calm demeanor and pragmatic approach, Addington was often viewed as a contrast to his predecessor, William Pitt the Younger. His conciliatory manner and emphasis on moderation were perceived as strengths in a time of political and social turbulence. However, critics argued that his inclination towards compromise and avoidance of radical measures made him ill-suited to address the pressing challenges of the era. Addington's consensus-building style, honed during his years as Speaker of the House of Commons, contributed to maintaining a degree of stability during a period marked by internal dissent and external threats. His commitment to parliamentary procedure and respect for constitutional principles were commendable, but they were also sources of contention as some saw them as hindrances to more decisive governance. One of the defining moments of Addington's premiership was the negotiation and signing of the Treaty of Amiens in 1802. The treaty brought a temporary halt to the hostilities of the Napoleonic Wars, offering a brief respite from the intense and prolonged conflict that had gripped Europe. The significance of the Treaty of Amiens lies in its attempt to establish a framework for peace and to bring stability to a war-weary continent. However, the treaty's impact was short-lived, as tensions between Britain and France reignited, leading to a resumption of hostilities in 1803. While the Treaty of Amiens did not achieve a lasting peace, its historical significance lies in the fact that it marked a rare moment of diplomatic resolution during a time characterized by intense warfare. The long-term consequences of Henry Addington's policies and decisions are complex and multifaceted. On the domestic front, his attempts at financial reform and management of social unrest had varying degrees of success. While some measures contributed to short-term stability, the deeper economic and social issues persisted, setting the stage for subsequent administrations to grapple with these challenges. In terms of foreign policy, the Treaty of Amiens highlighted the difficulties of achieving a lasting peace during a time of ideological and geopolitical volatility. The resumption of hostilities with France underscored the limitations of diplomatic agreements in the face of entrenched conflicts and power struggles. Addington's legacy is also shaped by the internal divisions within his own party and the broader political landscape. The criticisms and opposition he faced from within the Tory party revealed ideological fault lines that would continue to influence British politics in the years to come. In the grand narrative of British history, Henry Addington's premiership is often viewed as a transitional phase, a bridge between the leadership of William Pitt the Younger and the subsequent administrations that would navigate the challenges of the Napoleonic era. While his time in office was relatively short, the consequences of his decisions and the lessons learned from his leadership style left a lasting imprint on the political and diplomatic landscape of early 19th century Britain. Relationship with King George III. Henry Addington's relationship with King George III was crucial to his rise to the premiership. Addington's father, Anthony Addington, had served as the personal physician to the king, establishing a familial connection. This connection likely played a role in Addington's appointment as Prime Minister. The relationship between Addington and the king is indicative of the personal and familial dynamics that could influence political appointments during this era. Political allies and adversaries. Within political circles, Addington faced both allies and adversaries. His attempts to build a coalition and maintain unity within the Tory party were complicated by internal divisions. The opposition he encountered from within his own party, including figures like William Pitt the Younger's supporters, highlighted the challenges of political maneuvering during a time of ideological and factional differences. Relations with foreign powers. Addington's diplomatic efforts were not limited to domestic politics. His interactions with other European powers, especially during the negotiation of the Treaty of Amiens, showcased his ability to engage with a broader international community. Comparisons with other European leaders of the time, such as Napoleon Bonaparte and his counterparts, offer insights into the complex diplomatic landscape of the Napoleonic era. The comparisons with contemporaries reveal the diverse and dynamic nature of political leadership during this period. Henry Addington's role as a transitional figure, bridging the gap between different political eras, is highlighted by contrasting his approach with that of other key figures of the time. These comparisons contribute to a nuanced understanding of the challenges and choices faced by leaders in early 19th century Britain. Henry Addington's tenure as Prime Minister from 1801 to 1804 was marked by a confluence of domestic challenges and international complexities. As a recap, Addington assumed leadership during a critical period in British history, inheriting a nation grappling with economic strain, social unrest, and the ongoing Napoleonic Wars. His leadership style, characterized by a measured and conciliatory approach, aimed at addressing these multifaceted issues. Internationally, Addington played a pivotal role in negotiating the Treaty of Amiens in 1802, a brief respite in the Napoleonic Wars. Domestically, his financial reforms and attempts to manage social unrest reflected a commitment to stability. However, his leadership faced criticism and opposition, both from within his own party and the broader political landscape. Henry Addington's legacy is complex and multifaceted. While his time as Prime Minister was relatively short, the decisions and policies implemented during his tenure had a lasting impact on the trajectory of British history. The Treaty of Amiens, despite its temporary nature, holds historical significance as an early attempt at diplomatic resolution in a time of prolonged conflict. Addington's legacy is also intertwined with the internal divisions within the Tory party and the challenges of navigating a rapidly changing global landscape. His leadership style, often characterized as pragmatic and conciliatory, left an imprint on the political culture of the time, influencing subsequent leaders and shaping the evolving nature of British governance. In conclusion, Henry Addington's impact on early 19th century Britain is a nuanced story of leadership in a time of turbulence. While facing criticism for perceived indecisiveness and the limitations of his financial reforms, Addington's efforts to navigate both domestic and international challenges provide valuable insights into the complexities of governance during the Napoleonic era. His legacy, though overshadowed by the more assertive leadership styles of his contemporaries, contributes to the broader narrative of British history. Addington's attempt at finding diplomatic solutions in a time of war, coupled with his commitment to constitutional principles, reflects the delicate balancing act required of leaders in an era marked by ideological clashes and geopolitical transformations. Ultimately, Henry Addington's impact extends beyond the boundaries of his premiership. His legacy serves as a testament to the challenges and opportunities inherent in leadership during times of crisis, leaving historians to grapple with the intricacies of his decisions and their repercussions on the course of British history. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future.